Well, parents in Beaverton, Oregon are outraged after discovering their kid's school is offering a genders and sexualities club to students as young as 9 years old.
These kids are far too young to be learning about this subject at school. They should be learning about different lifestyles with their parents, as is their right.
Why would they have these elementary children sign contracts without parental knowledge or consent?
You cannot tell me that Raleigh Hills is being run, this club is being run by students. This club is very clearly directed by staff.
Well, some parents worry that if 4th and 5th graders aren't considered too young for this type of club, then who is? Join us right now with reaction from Richmond, Virginia, Fox and Friends Weekend co-host and anchor Pete Hegseth and a Florida mom, Quisha King, live from the Fox Nation Miseducation of America Summit. And Pete, this is exactly what the summit is all about.
Absolutely right, Steve. Perfect lead into this. Thank you so much. And you're right. I am honored this morning to be joined by Quisha King. She's a Duval County, Florida mom and the co-chair of the Moms for Liberty there, as well as the host of the Quisha King Show podcast. Quisha, you heard everything Steve just laid out there.
I did.
This is Beaverton, Oregon. This is 4th and 5th graders. This is a gender and sexuality club. No notification for parents, yet the teachers seem to see nothing wrong with it.
Not only that the teachers don't seem to see anything wrong with it, but the entire district does not seem to see anything wrong with it. And I think that this further goes to show that we are right in standing up. We are right in continuing to fight for this. We are right to say no. Because we don't. This is like grooming. This is tantamount to grooming. If we saw this in any other, circumstance, I think we would all say, no, you can't show these kinds of things to our 9 and 10-year-olds. We would want to call the police in some instances.
Yeah, I mean, and what one of the parents pointed out was, this is forming a club and giving presentations at the age of 9 on issues of gender and sexuality, probably not just the idea of a 9-year-old. And yet the school said because it's during class time, parents don't need to be notified? What is that mindset?
It's the Terry McAuliffe mindset. It is a mindset that says, parents, you birthed them, you know, you shelter them, you clothe them. When they're in our care, we'll take it from there. And parents all across the country, certainly in Duval County, are saying absolutely no. You cannot. Not only do we birth our own children, but we get to say what they should have, what they should be taught, and how their days should go in a classroom setting. Just because I send them off to a camp, does that mean that I don't get to have a say?
Sure.
What they're doing when they go to camp? No, I have a say in everything that they do because
and in this case,
parent.
when we send kids to schools, too often we're sending them to Democrat camp for 8 hours a day, and then having to deprogram when they come back.
Absolutely.
Well, you mentioned Terry McAuliffe. We're here in Virginia for the Miseducation of America Live Summit. Quisha, you have been such a voice for parents, speaking up for the rights of parents, the rights for kids. What's part of your message going to be today at the summit?
My message is that parents have the right, and you don't have to be afraid to speak against things like critical race theory. You don't have to be afraid to speak against things like queer theory, which is another thing that's creeping into our schools, which is tied to these instances like we just saw in Beaverton, Ohio. And I will be talking about those kinds of things.
Yeah, well, you've been a great voice on Fox and Friends as well. We can't wait to hear from you at the summit. So, folks watching, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, the Miseducation of America Live Summit from here in Richmond, Virginia, because you mentioned Terry McAuliffe. Well, now it's Glenn Youngkin country, and a big reason for that was the issue of education. So we're going to be talking about it this morning. Steve, back to you.